The Kagerou project is a story of forgiveness. It's a story of empathy. It's a story about moving on. And it is a story that deserves to be remembered because of how earnestly it wants to make the world a better place. This is the Bread Boy, and there's cause to celebrate, because tomorrow Kira was finally getting some. In this moment, Shinzro has found a strength that Azumi would never have. The feelings I get from watching this are similar to when Azumi opens her eyes. She enjoyed her days with Shinzro and Momo, how she was able to start living again because of it. And then confesses that the reason she
Which part of it? Summertime Record came out when I was just a sophomore in high school. That was a long time ago. Mekaku City Actors finished still in high school. I was a senior then. I fondly remember one of my friends coming up to me in math class and telling me all about how the Ayanos Theory of Happiness opening came out and how atrocious it was. She had seen it before me. It was... I saw it live in that class, as a matter of fact. We didn't get much work done, but yeah, there were things more important. The novels finished, and along with the manga when I was in college. I remember sitting in the library of my university and almost crying right then and there, reading the last chapter of the manga. It was something really special. We waited a very, very long time for that to come around. It's a memory I hold very close. No. We were just having fun. We didn't know that we were making memories. I mean, it has its problems for sure. Just look at almost all of Mekaku City Actors. A lot of it came in the form of plot details, plot holes, where's Mary's dad, why doesn't Seto get to do more in the plot. These were all things that we experienced together and thought of many times. I'm not going to pretend that it was all great, but, you know, it's definitely better than the sum of its parts, I'd say. Oh, not at all. Just look at everything that it presented. Look at all the possibility that the project gave us. There were so many timelines, so many things that could have happened. I remember back when Lost Time Memory came out, everyone was trying to theorize and create answers together, and when you have that much potential, when you have a scope that's that big, how could it live up to it? Now, that's not to say that it's a problem. Not many things do live up to everything that they're prescribed to be, but the scope was endless. It still could be endless, and that's the beauty. That's what made us think so far out of the box. There were times when it was bothersome. There were times where it was great. There were times that we all cried alone or together. But no, I don't think it was that bad. I think that I'll carry it with me for a very long time to come. There wasn't anything quite like the Kagerou project when it came out. It had a huge, sprawling cast of characters, and it did most of its storytelling through the medium of music. Even to this day, when you try and compare it to other of its contemporaries in the Vocaloid scene, there isn't much there. You look at Heisei or Mikagura or Avelius, and those things, I mean, half of them fell apart and vanished into dust, and the part that remained never got that depth. They never had that essence of character development, of using songs to their fullest, not specifically as a medium of storytelling, but as a medium of character infusion and character development, of a way to get inside the character's head. That was what was so special about the Kagerou project, is that to this day, the music lets you feel what it was like to be Shintaro Kisaragi, or to be Kanoshuya, to be Takane Enomoto. And that's just not something that you can get from many other stories. It puts you into the heads of the characters in a way that other things just can't, because it's music. It's not incidental to what the story is or what the story tried to be. It is the story, and that's what's amazing. It tells this moving narrative about coping with loss, about trying to be better, trying to better yourself, about making mistakes, but learning to get back up again and move towards a better future. All through these characters that all share a common struggle. That's why it's able to balance such a large cast, is that it takes this essence of conflict, this essence of loneliness, takes these dynamics of Azumi feeling outcasted, of Shintaro feeling outcasted, of Takane feeling outcasted, of Mary feeling outcasted, and contrasts it with characters that come to the rescue, the Tsukihikos, the Ayanas, the Harukas, and the Setos. And through showing you these similar characters, but in different situations, it shows how universal that feeling of grief is, that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of being outcasted. And it's through that that we're able to extract a bigger meaning. It's through that that we're able to see how horribly crushing it is for everyone to just live. But how, if we do it, if we can somehow manage that feat, that's wonderful. I mean, yeah, of course it does. To this day, off the top of my head, I mean, where's Mary's dad? How come we never see that? Why is it that it just so happens that of everybody that ever died on August 15th, it's only the characters that we care about that got the powers? I mean, Christ, it's years between the Mekakushi trio getting their eye abilities and, say, Takane and Haruka getting theirs. It just so happens that that is the way it makes sense. Why is it that we can beat the Clearing Eyes in certain ways in some routes, but not in others? There's lots of things that don't quite get explained. They don't quite fully fall into place. And yeah, they are plot holes. They're ginsteries. But even so, is that really a bad thing? Is that really a bad thing when the story was never about the plot but the characters? It needs to have a plot, of course, and the ultimate resolution does make sense, but it was always about the characters. The plot was always a vessel to move the characters, so I'm not going to sit here and try and fight that. I'm not going to sit here and try and say that that's a bad thing. Are you? It's not a masterpiece. It's like I just said. I mean, it has problems, but at the end of the day, it's about the feeling. It's about what it feels like to go on this journey, to see these people grow and overcome their trials. It's always been something higher than just the literal. You have to understand that, or you won't get the story. Yeah, I mean, maybe I was. We all were. But
But what?
yes, the plot's kinda stupid. But that doesn't change the fact that it still resonates, does it? It doesn't change the fact that the cast of characters that we have here is among some of the best I have literally ever seen. It doesn't change the fact that for every step Jin took in the wrong direction, for everything that doesn't make sense that never got explained, there were countless, tens, dozens of others that hit you to the core. Moments that to this day haunt me like a ghost. Moments that I look towards other things, I look in other mediums, and I can't find anywhere. It doesn't change the fact that even if the story is riddled with problems, that it's still special, that it's still among the best you've ever seen. And what about everything else that you've ever seen?
Take a step back and think about everything you like, everything that's supplanted the project. Berserk is about living life your own way while never compromising on those close to you. My Broken Mariko is about dealing with loss and a love you never got to place. Monogatari is about the struggle to accept yourself and the dream of being a hero. And Gundam about how the toughest battle is coming to understand each other. There's pieces of all of these things in the Kagerou project. It's a story that encompasses all of these timeless ideas and looks at them through the lens of loss. Sure, other works might do elements better, that's why you own all these things too, but the project is better than the sum of its parts. It does more things well than anything has the right to, and that isn't something to be ashamed of. And more importantly, it let you dream. It let you participate in trying to solve the mystery, thinking of a scenario that would lead to a better end. Who's to say that you would ever have written books without learning to think like that? You started a YouTube channel to talk about Vocaloid knowing that the ace up your sleeve was the Kagerou project, that you could talk about that forever. That's how it felt anyway. You got to participate in the grand experiment that was the Kagerou project. And more importantly, you got to let other people do it too. Others got to feel your joy, your enthusiasm, and seek out that emotion themselves because of the stories you told. And you're going to say that that doesn't mean anything? I don't think so. Everything that's here, everything that you are, you cannot separate from this story. No matter how much time passes or whatever changes, the blood of the project flows through what you like and what you've become, while also still being a damn good character study in its own right.
How many times have you read Azumi's story in the manga or in the novels? Hell, even watching it in Mekaku City Actors? More than I can count. So,